Total crypto market cap chart zoomed out. Are we ready? This is a very simple question. Are we ready for a money printing super cycle? It's the most basic question that I could just start with to begin this video. And this isn't clickbait. SuperCycle word is kind of like a clickbait sounding word. And a lot of times we've been talking about SuperCycle from a charting perspective, where we are on this chart, right? In terms of these Bitcoin halvings and how things are playing out differently this cycle. Are we getting ready for a longer leg up going into 2026 based on data on the charts? But this is actually, this video, I want to take in macroeconomic data and talk about this, a money printing super cycle, because that's what's in play right now. And this isn't a guarantee, but that's why I started with this very simple question. If it happens, are we ready? Hit the subscribe, hit the like on the way in. Let's talk about this. And I am going to, at the end of the video, just talk about the next leg up for Bitcoin, what I'm watching on the short-term price action for Bitcoin. I think it's incredibly important as we get it ready to go into this new week. We have to be cautious for some things, but we can be optimistic as well for a nice move for crypto markets. I want to start here. This is Fred over here on X said gold is at 2,600. We're days away from rate cuts. BlackRock has shifted from ESG to BTC. And by the way, if you actually just go look at a gold chart, I haven't seen a ton of posts about it, but look at gold. Gold going crazy right now. So he says 60 days from now, listen to this, 60 days from now, regardless of who wins, we are in a money printing super cycle with a new BTC ETF. And I'm going to show you a clip of Fred, what he's saying in just a moment. But with this being said, right, 60 days from now, regardless who wins, we're in a money printing super cycle. I want you to also remember something. September 18th, for instance, we know what's happening, right? That is to say, we are getting rate cuts. So if we're getting rate cuts in 4 days, and we have this data, of the 14 rate cycles since 1929, 12 of them saw positive S&P 500 returns for 12-month period following the first rate cut. We have that data to play onto these charts as well. What do you think is going to happen on the macro? And I say this even if in the next couple months crypto is going to fall. I want to keep that in mind. That could happen, right? Check this clip out. It's going to be pretty brief. So just check it out and then we're going to talk about it.
The market's telling us we're going from 5.5% interest rates to something below 3% in a year.
So he's talking about interest rates and what markets are predicting is going to happen in terms of the decline of rates.
That is a massive, massive move, okay? And when you have $4 trillion in money market funds, they're just sitting there. When you have $200 trillion worth of bonds out there.
I just want to say $4 trillion in money market funds, right? And I just want you to keep in mind right now, total crypto market cap is sitting at $2 trillion. All right, let's finish this clip.
And you lower interest rates from 5 3/8 to below 3%, which is what is going to happen. You're going to have a flight to risk assets. What does that mean? That means equities go up. That means real estate goes up, okay?
Wait for
that
it.
means bonds go up.
Wait for it.
And that means Bitcoin goes up. And
just such a very simple explanation. With the data we already have, right? The data we looked at. And we could talk about data in terms of recessions, because I know there's probably going to be people out there, but what about the recession? S&P 500 bottoms 3 months after a recession begins, but 10 months before the recession ends. This is data since 1957. Just wanted to throw that reminder. I've been just nonstop talking about that, but here's the total crypto market cap chart. So we right now are just at this moment. This is all very bullish data coming together from an economic standpoint. But remember where we are in this cycle. We're post-Bitcoin halving. We're around just over 1,000 days from the last all-time high, and we're down, total crypto market cap down around 32%. Last time, around $1,000 or 1,000 days post-Bitcoin halving, just over 1,000 days, or not Bitcoin halving, but post all-time high, crypto market cap was down 40%. So we're on pace, number one. We're approaching the parabolic area where crypto starts going up, number two. Number three, at this time, there's a lot of confluence here. At this time, where all of this other macroeconomic data is coming together. This is crazy to me. And so when we look at these targets that I've most recently been mentioning, like this softer target of around $4 to $5 trillion for total crypto market cap, it almost seems, I mean, we're at 2 trillion now. This seems so doable. And then if we have our fun target, which is 12 to 13 trillion, that even sounds doable. And so this is what we're looking at right now, everybody, in terms of what is happening with crypto. This is where we are in terms of these cycles. And the reason why the super cycle word comes into play is because as long as I've been doing videos in this space, I've not seen these things coming together like this. And I do want to say, you know, if you go to a total crypto market cap chart or even just a Bitcoin chart zoomed out, I want to mention this. I know I'm doing this video right now, September 14th. I'm not saying this is happening right now or this is it, boom. This is a longer term video. We're talking 12 months, 18 months or more that I'm talking about. So when it comes to even this structure that we've most recently been talking about on the weekly chart, it's important just to make a note, we could fall in the coming months. But even if this were to happen on the Bitcoin chart zoomed out, what I say time and time again, and it doesn't matter, you can take it from the bear market low to this swing high. We have a Fibonacci down here. We could fall all the way down into the 30s and put in a higher low. We can take a more, I think, appropriate Fibonacci from this previous swing low to the swing high, and we could fall down into this area, the lower 40s, which is a target out of this falling, broadening wedge, down into the upper 30s or so. That could happen. I'm talking about this could be the short to midterm bear environment, but this other data that we're talking about, this would likely, in my view, just be the bottom. And then it's just kind of like super cycle. And then if a super cycle did play out, I just want to say, I have no idea exactly what it would look like, but it could absolutely just look like something like this, right? And crypto markets going crazy in general. It could go into 2026, which is something we've talked about, right? So this isn't me saying, you know, all this data is so bullish, we're starting now, we're going parabolic now. This is macro mindset, and I want to mention that because it's very important, because that's how I'm coming to these charts, is with a macro mindset. With that said, when I zoom in on like a Bitcoin daily chart, I'm absolutely looking forward to a shorter term breakout. I want to see this start sooner than later. We go to the total crypto market, or not the total crypto market cap. We go to a Bitcoin dominance chart. Check out the Bitcoin dominance chart. It's just so on pace, so on target in terms of getting ready for a potential altcoin season where Bitcoin dominance starts falling, repeating previous cycles. So in play. But here we are on the short-term daily. We wanted to talk about it. Here's the move that's happening. I put a speculative move, this next leg up. This move is ready. I said this the other day. Now is the time. And if we look at it, I took this bars pattern because there were in the story of this pattern that we're in, all this structure, this move happening right now has happened 2 other times. And I want to talk about those 2 times. And really what we're looking at is this move from the lower trend line and just breaking back above the 20, back above the 50, and maybe even seeing some support at the 50 before the next leg up. The last time this happened, this is what it looked like on the chart. Lower trend line, move through the 20 in green, move through the 50 in blue, some support, you see a couple red candles there, and then leg up. That's the move we want to see right now in the short term. And then it happened also back here. Swing low at the lower trend line, move through the 20-day moving average, move through the 50-day moving average, little bit of consolidation just above, leg up to the upper trend line. The move is ready. And if you go look at the oscillators, check this out. All of those moves are looking so similar from the oscillator perspective. Meaning here we are, just kind of a little bit of consolidation, a pause, and it's just what happened in these previous 2 times. A pause and then leg up to the trend line. Here's the pause, the consolidation 2 times ago, and then leg up to the upper trend line. So the question is, are we about to get the leg up to the upper trend line? Even the MACD oscillator right now, you can see where that oscillator is right here. We're just getting that MACD crossing above the signal line. You can see when we had this move, the similar move back here in July, we have the MACD also just making its way above the signal line, the histogram starting to turn green. And then what do we have? Same exact thing back here. Histogram turning green, MACD crossing above the signal line. And so here we are. We're in the same environment. This breakout to the upper 60s could happen quick, and it could happen within days. So this is a short-term move to be prepared for, and that's talking about 10% plus move for Bitcoin to test the upper trend line. The question on everybody's mind, if a move like that were to happen, does it break the upper trend line finally? Because we've seen resistance. We've seen these lower highs time and time again at this upper trend line. So that's the really bullish confirmation that we'll be waiting for. We're getting these shorter term confirmations. We're finally above the 20. We're just hovering at the 50 right now, which could be concerning because this might fail. We might fail here, everybody, and we might start coming back down. This all is dependent upon what happens in this week coming up, and there's a lot going on in this week coming up. So this could go one way or the other. We could have a crazy bullish sentiment this week that's breaking us out of the actual pattern, or we could get some type of bearish, short-term bearish reaction to what's going on, and we're falling, and we're testing the lower trend line. Once again, lower 50s, everybody calling bear market. But as I started the video, I just want to draw everybody's attention to really the big picture here, because that's what I'm focused on right now in terms of crypto. So these are my thoughts, everybody, on Saturday. I hope you're having a good weekend so far. Please hit the subscribe, hit the like, turn notifications on, because I just really think this market is going to start getting crazy, and I'm going to have a ton of updates to go over, price updates for Bitcoin, crypto markets, and news as well. So I appreciate you. I hope you have a good weekend, and God bless.